A magnitude 3.3 Salt Lake City earthquake felt by thousands as quakes still rattle Utah. This is an area that has a lot of liquefaction. Salt Lake City is over a land-filled lake, and it's also the area that a mantle plume passes under. The plume that goes from Baja running right under Salt Lake City and into Yellowstone. The west part of the plume goes under the high-threat volcanoes of California, and the east part of the plume runs under Utah and into Yellowstone supervolcano. Quake, it has been reported to USGS by 1,559 people. And taking a look at the map, it's again a shallow quake, 5.6 kilometers depth. About 1,500 reported it. Many thousands, of course, felt it. And this is our area right here. Of course, if we put in the quakes for the day, even the small ones, we can see the activity right here. This is the Great Salt Lake, and we have Utah Lake underneath. And at one point, this is swamp area here. At one point, this was one lake. And this is where we have Salt Lake City. These earthquakes, the big one that was felt a few days ago of 5.7 was felt supposedly by 2.8 million people. There we go, and we'll go into that. Oh, they've already removed it. They've removed it. Okay. They removed it because they remove after a few days. Okay. But we had aftershocks after that as well. I doubt that they will have the liquefaction on this. They had the liquefaction on the bigger one. Okay, they don't have the liquefaction here, but we'll see the tectonics. And go to the aerial. As you can see, the fault lines run right through there. Right through there. And if we go, the liquefaction area is right around Salt Lake, a little bit over here, and most of it around this area. And as we said before, this is a land-filled lake. Just like they estimate that Lake Tahoe will fill in after a couple of million years as well. And going back to the map, and we can go into the earthquakes that we have in the area, and you'll see that it takes the line of the mantle plume. Baja mantle plume right there, the west part here, and the east part going right through Salt Lake City and right through Utah and into Yellowstone. This is the other big quake that we had today, the 5 magnitude in Texas, which had so much shaking that I would venture to say that it also shook Utah yet again. There is no liquefaction estimate there now, but we'll go into the tectonics, and you can see the intensity of the shaking. There we go. The intensity of the shaking. This is Salt Lake right there, and this is the intensity of the shaking. They stop it at the block here. If you were to extrapolate those shakes, I'm sure that they would have gone out this way. Even shaking Utah. I would venture to say they would shake very close to Garlic Fault as well. So as you can see, they're still ongoing. And the big surprise today was the Texas quake of 5 magnitude and the quake swarms there. And because of the huge amount of shaking, I would venture to say that that's the 3.4 that we had in Oklahoma was probably jolts from the Texas quake as well. We know that that has mantle plume from the mid-continental rift, going this way. It dips into Texas and even goes into New Mexico. Okay. So that's what's going on in Utah. We still have Salt Lake City earthquakes, even southern Utah's here. Okay, southern Utah, even though they're much smaller. And Utah, southern, just along the line of where the magma is having its pathway. Right here. So all of you, please be very careful in that area as well as the West Coast. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.